Hi everyone, it's Chris. Welcome to my parlour, and today's pick a card. It is a who is thinking of you pick a card. So there's someone that's thinking about you. You may or may not know them. You may or may not wish them to think about you, but they are thinking about you for whatever reason, whatever's relevant to you at the moment. Could be a lover, could be a family member, could be a boss. It could be just a stranger that you've met, a blind date, a friend. Whoever's thinking about you is relevant to you, but you may or may not know them. Does that make sense to you today? So you have the choice of one or two. I'm going to find out who they are, what they're thinking about, why they're thinking about you, hopefully, and expand on that with giving you a bit of extra information here. So I'm using several decks today. I've also got some charms for you to find out who that might be. So if you want to find out who that might be, please continue and watch this video, remembering it is a general impression about who this person might be. So it may or may not be relevant to you. So think about who you want to do. And while you're thinking, I will gather up the energy, pour a cup of tea, one or two, you choose. One, two, or three. One, two. Number one, if you chose number one, let's find out who's thinking about you, what they want you to know, and we'll gather that from there. So let's find out who they are first, shall we? You may or may not know them. You may or may not know the reason they're thinking of you. So let's find out who that might be. For number one, please. Who's thinking about them? Why are they thinking about them? What message do they have to share? The King of Wands, a man. The King usually represents someone more mature, plus 30 and onwards. The King of Wands, if it's a man, or could be a woman who has the same sort of personality, not necessarily the gender here, but I'm sensing it is a gender, it's a man, I think, but what the card is telling me here, and he's a man of action, a man who doesn't sit around idly just waiting for things to happen. He makes things happen, and if he has a plan of action, he puts it into action quite readily, quite steadily, and he has a fiery personality, so he's probably a fire sign, quite active, quite busy all the time. He doesn't really settle down to anything unless he's finished it. So if he hasn't finished something, you won't find him sitting down idly twiddling his thumbs. He's out there doing, he's out there acting on something very important. So he's thinking about you at the moment. Why is he thinking about you? We'll find out a bit more about that in a moment, but I'm just going to find out a bit more about him. What else can we tell about this man, please? What we're talking about is his normal behaviour, his in-action behaviour, when he's feeling really good, very positive and very affirmative about what he's doing. So let's find out a bit more about him, about his situation at present moment. The Hermit, very interesting. I was just thinking about this and the card turned up. So we're talking about how he normally is. At the moment he's in contemplating something. I think he's finalised something very important, and he's contemplating his next move. Now, I said he didn't twiddle his thumbs, and he doesn't, but when he's in contemplative mode, he's still acting on what he is wanting to foresee in his future. So he's still planning, he's still putting those things into action, but he's thinking about what he wants to do next. He's in quiet, introspective mood. So very interesting. I was thinking about that and it turned up. So he's definitely thinking about something, and it more than likely is you, and how perhaps he wants you in the next phase of his life. Remembering he's always putting things into action. So once he's decided what he wants to do and how he wants you in his life, you will find out, and you'll find out very quickly. So be prepared to have a message from this man when he's made up his mind about what he wants, because even when he's thinking, he's always acting. So it's never still for any reason other than an important one. So if he hasn't contacted you for a while, perhaps you do know him and he hasn't contacted you for a while, it's because he's deciding what he wants to do next, in regards to his future with you perhaps, or what he wants to do for his own future, and how that would impact on a whole wide range of things within his life. So let's find out what he's thinking, feeling, and what's he going to be doing about it. So what's he thinking, feeling, and going to be doing about it? So what's he thinking? He's had a hard time. He's been finding himself very aware of his emotions and how they've affected him, and they have affected him quite strongly. So he's feeling a little bit despondent at the moment, and he's not quite sure about how he's going to proceed, because he's been hurt on a deep level, an emotional level, and he's thinking about it, because the swords are a thinking process. So he's thinking about the past and how deeply he's been hurt by something or someone, and it may or may not be in regards to you, but perhaps he's been through the ringer lately. Some of his plans haven't turned out the way that he expected, so he's contemplating how he's feeling about those instances in his life. What's he thinking, feeling, and doing? But he's certainly looking forward. This is coming through the past. This is what he's thinking about now. So he's getting over that initial shock. He's getting over that initial anxiety and a bit of anguish too in some respects. And he's thinking about starting again. He's thinking he hasn't given up on this situation, and he hasn't given up on finding a future happiness for himself. So he's probably in a bit of grief. He's lost something perhaps. He's lost someone. He's lost an opportunity, and he's thinking about that so deeply. But he hasn't given up on something brand new, of celebrating something. So he's looking forward to the future. And what's he going to do about it? Here comes what is this one? Is it the King? The King of Wands? Looks like the King of Wands. Well, what would you be? How would you be? The King of Wands has turned up as well. So he's going to be back to normal very quickly. It's going to be back to normal very quickly, and he's going to be back to his old form, celebrating the possibilities of what's coming through here at the moment. So he's almost back. Be prepared to hear from him very soon about his decisions, about what he plans for his future, whether or not they include you depends on your circumstances, your personal circumstances right now. So I'm not going to speculate on that, but I'm going to say that he's ready. He's back in form. And by golly, he's back in form. Whatever you expect from him, he's going to produce it in full measure. And he's planting the seeds here. And he's ready to make good on whatever he's been planning and thinking about. He's over his grief. It was a deep grief. But he's thinking about his future here, and he's going to act on it. So he's going back in full form. Yes. So let's find out a bit more about his messages for you in the charms. What's happened here at the moment? What is brand new for the both of you? Because the little alien has come up. The alien has come up, and that indicates something brand new, something untried, something sometimes unfathomable. That's the right word. Sometimes you think, oh, I want to try this, but I'm too scared to try it. Oh my golly gosh, what will happen if I try it? Well, the only thing you can do is to try it to find out. And that's what's happening here at the moment. There's something brand new about to emerge from this person, from this relationship you have with them, whoever that might be. There's something brand new to try. See it from a higher perspective too. See how high you can see and how far you can see when you raise your vibration or raise your ideas or just open up to those ideas. Or it could be travel. Could be romance too, indicating here because it's the Eiffel Tower, and Eiffel Tower is in France, and Paris is a land of city of love, isn't it? So it could be that too, or it could be travel there. But more likely it's just seeing things from a higher perspective. How far can you see when you take another viewpoint about this relationship? Be flexible in that relationship. Be flexible in how you proceed. This is the very firm spring, so it's indicating standing up for yourself, but standing up for what you want, of course, but also having a little give and take, just a little bit, not too much. There's not much needed here, so let's have a little bit of give and take. Harmony comes through here. Harmony. Ooh, the crab. No more sidestepping. Time to emerge. Dig yourself out of the sand. See the future. No more sidestepping. The gold frog. Lovely. Good omen for success and happiness. Good luck. Ooh, the pomegranate. Pomegranate is passion. Pomegranate is fertility. Ideas, not necessarily a physical fertility, but it could be, but the ideas are fertile right now. Create something memorable. Again, create something memorable. Ooh, the Scorpio. There's a bit of a bite in someone's tail. Perhaps the flexibility is coming through here. To avoid the bite, to avoid the sting, be flexible. Be flexible. Good luck coin. Good luck coin. Putting something on record, making a commitment here, finalising something, putting it on record. Putting it on record. The initial H, whatever that might mean for you. And treating yourself sweetly. Don't forget to treat yourself sweetly with the licorice all sort. It's time to treat yourself well as your person here of interest, whoever that might be. So yeah, sounds good, sounds promising. Number 1. So thank you. So, number 2, who are you thinking about, and are they thinking of you? So who's thinking about you? Is it someone you want is it someone you want to think about? Or is it someone that you don't quite know and you don't know the reason why they're thinking of you? Let's find out who they are and what that thought process is, shall we? And what message do they have for you? So for number 2, please, who's thinking of them and why? Who's thinking of them and why? Who's thinking of them and why? Who's thinking of number 2 and why, please? Who's thinking of number 2? The Knight of Wands. Could be male or female with the Knight. The Knight is usually middle-aged, not middle-aged, younger than middle-aged, about 25 onwards, 25 to 40, something like that. With the Wands, they're very, they're new to their situation. I'm sensing they have just changed jobs and they're just learning how to integrate themselves into the new workforce. It's an active job. It's not an office job. It's something that keeps them busy. And I think that's why they're thinking of you at the moment. Something about their work. It's a new position for them. It's probably keeping them away from a society for a while. They're not out and about night clubbing and things like that at the moment. They're really working on their job. It really makes them tired. It really makes them, it's brand new, so they're still learning the ropes. But overall too, they are an active person, so it's keeping them away from their pursuits of activity as well. So if you haven't heard from them for a while, or you haven't been going out for a while, or perhaps even you could be meeting them through work. I'm not too sure the relationship with you. It depends on your circumstances at the moment, but it's to do with their work at the moment and how busy they are. They're a very busy person anyway, so they're not. It's not to the point of exhausting them, but it is keeping them busy on a different kind of level. They're normally a busy person, but this is keeping them busy on a different kind of level. So perhaps they're a bit distant at the moment, a bit distracted, and that's why. So just find a bit more about them. Why are they so busy? What job's keeping them so busy? Maybe it's a job that involves travel. It's further away than their normal job, or it involves a bit of travel from time to time. Or they could be on their feet all day, going from place to place. Maybe they're temping. That's a possibility as well. Or maybe there's several within their job, whoever they're working for has several different places of work. Does that make sense? They have several offices, for example, and they have to travel between them, or different factories, or different whatever it is. It's keeping them busy. I can't explain it more than that at the moment. They're thinking of you. So maybe they're new to maybe you work with them. Maybe you see them from time to time. Maybe they come to your place of work because you work for the same company, but in different states perhaps, or different cities. So all sorts of things are coming through here depending on your circumstances. You don't see them very often. And it's all new to them too. So that could be an indication here of what kind of relationship you have. But let's find out a bit more about them. The Empress. My God, they're so creative. They're thinking of creating something. They're in the process of creating something. Now, whether or not that's a physical creation or a creative creation, I'm not too sure how to explain that one either, because the Empress comes through. They're a very caring, very nurturing person. They're very supportive, especially supportive of people that they care about. Well, in general, they care about a lot of people. They may be even working in a community kind of situation. They could be a support worker, for example. That could be coming through as well, and that's why they're moving around so much. They have several clients that they support. It could be coming through as well. But whatever it is, whoever they are genuinely a very caring, supportive person, and they're in the position of being creating something very important here at the moment. They're in the middle of that creation process. You could be part of that creative process. You could be creating with them. Does that make sense to you today? Oh, I'm just really pleased with this one, because this person is very, very honest, very open, a very nice person, one that you would like to get to know if you haven't gotten to know them already, or if you haven't met them yet, or you're about to meet them. They're genuinely very, very nice, and they haven't got a mean bone in their body. They're just, yeah. You could do worse than this person. Does that make sense? Let's find out what they're thinking, feeling, and doing about you, because they're thinking about you, obviously, because they've come up. It could be anybody that you know or haven't met yet. But I'm hoping you know who I'm talking about, or why I'm talking about them, or why they're sharing this information with me to pass on to you. So obviously it's important enough to use me as a vessel, as a medium to pass on this information. The Chariot comes through here, indicating movement, indicating travel. So it's definitely something to do with distance coming through here. But they're in control. It looks like you can think here, and you think, oh my goodness, these dogs here are out of control, but they're not. They're being firmly guided. So this person knows exactly where they're going and why they're going there. It's all new, it's new to them, but they know how to handle the situation, and they're quite happy to handle the situation because they know how it's progressing and why it's progressing. So they're fully in charge. And you have the Seven of Cups here too. Oh, they can see, look at that, they can see the future, and it's bright and it's happy and it's full of choices and it's full of inspiration. And no matter how many choices you have, sometimes this is an overwhelming choice, and that's what people say, the Seven of Cups is an overwhelming choice, but it's not for them. They know exactly which cup they're going to choose, and they know what it contains, and they're looking forward to choosing that cup. Oh, there's so much potential for this person and for the commitment this person has, and it could include you for whatever reason that might be, but they're happy with that because they've left behind. You can see here they're in control. They know where they're headed. They know what the choices they want to make, because they've been in a place of unhappiness, of being unsettled, and finally they're settled. Finally they're leaving behind the you can see the shadows here. They're leaving behind their past. They're leaving behind the uncertainty that they once felt, and they're looking forward to a brilliant future. And that makes them special too, because they know this. They know what it feels like to be down and out. They know what it feels like to be sad. They have their emotions in control. They have their emotions in check, and they know exactly where they're headed and why they're headed there, because it's finally a place of being contented. They know what it feels like, so they understand. They make a great support worker because they understand circumstances. They've experienced so much in their young life. They're only in their 20s, perhaps, not quite 30. Around about that age, give or take a decade or two, but they're definitely not a teenager. But they've experienced so much in life, so they know where they're coming from, and they're looking forward to a brilliant, brilliant future. Oh, there's so much potential here. It's unbelievable. The potential here. They have a lot of potential. And let's find out their message, shall we? Let's find out their message for you with the charms. Yeah, some nice things in here. Don't forget to be sweet for yourself as well. This is a very sweet person, and they're going to treat you very nicely if that is what is relevant to you at the moment. In whatever capacity that might be. Friends can be sweet to each other. Family members can be sweet to each other. Workmates can be sweet to each other. And that sweetness expands. So share your good fortune, and they'll share theirs with you. And they're very proud of who they are. They're very proud of who they are. They're very proud of where they've come from. Remembering they've come from a place, they understand emotions, they understand vulnerability, they understand stress and struggle. They understand they've been there. They've been there, done that. They know, understand. Now they're bringing themselves out into a brilliant future. And they're very proud of themselves for doing that. And that pride shows. They feel extra special. They are worthy of whatever good comes for them. But not with, when they have pride, yes, but they feel worthy, but it's not a prideful ego worthy, it's one that is deservedly belongs to them, and they're very proud of that. Very proud of that. Make dreams come true. Make wishes come true. Never ever give up. Never ever give up. They've been there, remember? They've done that. And they've never ever given up. So they're proof positive that whatever you want, whatever you're searching for, never give up on it. And the beginning and the end. Endings always bring about new beginnings. Because you've got the Z and you've got the 10. Endings always bring about new beginnings and open doors for all sorts of possibilities. For you as well as them. Peace and harmony. The initial O, the letter O. Small change, only 5 cents, but a little bit of money coming your way. Again, you've got the legacy here. Support, community, success, success with others, success in showing how you share with others. Ooh, Statue of Liberty, independence, and working hard for what you receive, but being rewarded for that as well. Freedom. Making new memories while maintaining the old ones. Making new memories, perhaps even travel. Could be indicating travel here. Making travel videos. The good luck Buddha bowl. Good luck. What you put in, you receive back. Archangel Michael's sword for protection. Harmony, again, with the musical note. Got quite a few today, my goodness. You have... Oh, there might be a disruption, but there's a palm tree, so there could be an island holiday. Island holiday perhaps coming through. going back to something that is very important to you, something that always calls you back. You have the Taurus. It's an earth sign, but it's also one of determination. And you also have fun. Don't forget to go out and have some fun. Enjoy the life. Enjoy what the process. It's the journey, not the destination. Proof positive. And the Leo for strength, determination, pride. So thank you. Number 2. I hope that was helpful for you and gave you an indication of who might be thinking of you. So thank you everyone for joining me today. Put them over there so they don't get lost. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed that reading, and that the person that's thinking about you is the one perhaps that you want to be thinking about you and you're thinking about them. So thank you very much. Remembering this is a general reading, and until next time, so many blessings.